business and life. These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This
Recording in
is
progress.
Monday Morning Food Truck.
Good morning, Skippy. I can't unmute you. There we go.
Woo woo!
I can mute you, but I can't unmute you, which is weird. Good morning.
I'd like to be unmuted now.
Okay, please. Good morning. It is March the 20th, and it is a glorious day here on the west side of the state. The sun is shining. We have a feels like temperature of like, I don't know, 20. But the air temperature is 36. So we're getting there.
You already have 36 on that side of the world?
37 right now, according to my phone.
Wow.
With a feels like a 27.
I'm a 33 with a feels like 23.
Oh, yeah, see. We're supposed to get up to 46 today.
I also have a high of 40. I have 47 as a high. So
yeah.
Today's going to be an outdoor day.
Yeah, lots of 40s and 50s in the 10-day forecast. A few snow flurries, but I'm going to guess those are going to be in the early morning hours and will be gone before we hit the road. So it's opening week. We had opening week.
You survived. You're still here.
I'm tired. It's I'm not in food truck shape. Well, you know.
Are you still around?
Similar to a food truck, but
hey, cheers.
Cheers to you, sir. Let's start with your week. You were
sure.
You did lunches and
yeah, this whole lunch is for the birds. I can tell you what. Yes, last week was definitely a full week. For those who don't know, last year I pretty much did evenings with a few light catered lunches. Now I kind of branched out and can do regular lunches now. So, I got a haircut on Tuesday. That was definitely well needed.
I am in need.
Oh boy. And if you're on the east side, shout out to my girl Katie at Liberty Bells inside Huron Valley Guns. Yes, it's a gun store that has a barbershop inside. Fantastic.
Well, you really don't want jumpy barbers then.
Merca. Anyway, we set up at our normal location on Wednesday, the Farm and Fleet store in Brooklyn, Michigan. So great, so humbled, grateful to see the same people coming back and bringing more people with them, which is even better. It definitely makes this all worth it. I signed up to do an event in Walmart in Coldwater, which is a hop, skip, and a few jumps away from me. It's about 50 minutes. I got there as an opening of the garden center, and they were like, "We don't know where you're supposed to park." And I get there, and there's the garden center's not even open. There's really nothing there at all. There's some spots where they have the mulch and bags out and stuff like that, but the screens on the garden center aren't open. So I said, well, why don't I just, they're like, oh, well, you can park here. I'm like, there's no foot traffic. It's not worth it for me to park here. I'll drive the hour and 30 minutes back to my location in Brooklyn if that's going to be the case. They're like, well, you can go park in the back of the middle of the parking lot. I'm like, again, you're not understanding no foot traffic. I'm like, well, why don't I just park up front underneath the Walmart sign? Oh, that's a fire lane. You can't do that. It's against the law. I'm like, okay. So I was about ready to pull out. I messaged the lady and said, hey, it's not going to work. Let's reschedule. And then I see what I think is a manager come out. So I get out and go talk to him. And they're like, I understand your frustration. Let's see if we can find a place for you. So we walked again to the middle of the store underneath the Walmart sign, and they have a large curb. It's probably about 12 feet wide. Basically from door to door. Those who know Walmarts know they have two doors. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what's wrong with parking here? The fire lane's on the right. The fire lane is part of your driveway. Fire lane's not on the curb. They're like, well, I guess that's true. You think you can pull up here? Like, I think I can do it. Well, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go over here where I thought you'd go and see what it looks like. We walk over there, and he's like, nope, that's not going to work. He's like, so you think you can park on there? You can pull between the signs? I'm like, I'll figure it out. Tell you what. Ended up, we had our best day yet. It was good. Had Ed Budd, one of our top fans, messaged his business that he drives truck for. They came over, and I guess it's a close enough knit community where he posted it on Facebook, and a lot of the people he know came over. And he's like, the one barbecue joint was Dickie's, and they closed, and it was nasty. So we're glad you're here. So please come back at least once a month.
Nice.
So I'm working with the Walmart lady to see if I can come back at least once a month. It'd be nice. Did our first subdivision on Friday. Not the best. Cold, windy, just nasty. This is the only time so far that I've cooked ribs that I had ribs left over. Competed in a barbecue competition on Saturday. Again, cold and nasty. Luckily, I was already in the area, so I actually just stayed at a hotel. And because everything was already in my trailer, it's like, why go home and unload stuff when it's already in there anyway? Right. So we did that, and was fortunate enough out of 29 teams, 30 teams, to come out first in chicken wings and 10th in ribs for third overall. I missed.
Not just first in chicken wings. Come on, toot your horn. If you don't toot your horn.
All right, if you'll allow me to. It was a perfect score, which in competition barbecue world is a 180, which means every judge that gave you all nines.
Was it a perfect?
I don't know. That part I can't tell you.
No.
I was told that in all the rib burns in Michigan, this is the first time somebody's ever got a perfect score. So I was a little happy.
Of all the rib burns in all the states, Skippy comes out on top.
Hey, now I can market award-winning chicken wings. Anyway, so it was great. It was run by our friend Jeff Georgic with Booyah Barbecue and a lot of sponsors with it. And Sunday I set up at the Home Depot, and again, windy. My sign that says food truck here blew over like 6 times. Luckily, my barbecue flag just flew in the wind. And again, same thing from last Wednesday was same people came out, and it's good to see that, and they're trying different things. So I'm excited about the future. Enough about me. Let's talk about your greatness.
Mike, I wouldn't say greatness.
How I aspire to be you on a daily basis.
God, you need different aspirations, my friend.
Well, you had a better week than I did, so that's why I go with it.
Yes. So we'll start out with this week, and then we'll compare it to last year's opening week. Yeah, it was a good week. It was. I'm exhausted mentally, physically. The first couple weeks getting back into that is.
He's exhausted. He has people, folks. He's got people that work for him, and he's exhausted. That must mean it was crazy.
Well, just being on your feet for 14 hours a day when you're not. I mean, when you take 4 months off from doing every day, your feet get tired a little bit quicker, and you got to build up the calluses and haul in cases of meat around, and all the little tiny things that you don't really think of when it's July. You feel them all in March for sure. Up and down on the trailer 47,000 times in a week, and keeping a fire going and getting up at 3:30 every day. Yeah, it's an adjustment period for a couple weeks, but
okay, we're back to 3:30.
Yeah, up at 3:30 on the trailer, usually by 10 to 4.
Gotcha.
Hop in the shower real quick and get going.
Shake the cobwebs out.
I didn't hit snooze once. It was up and at 'em every morning. I didn't sleep
Good.
a whole lot over the nights most days, but just because you're afraid of not waking up that first week.
Oh, like I did yesterday. Yes, absolutely.
I heard about that. Or
Anyway.
read about that. So yeah, and then we've had all kinds of pit controller issues that started last week, I think.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, they continued. So yeah, I've been using I have a little backup unit that works. It just doesn't have a display screen on it, so I just have to use the app. But other than that, it works fine. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a battery on it. That unit's not powerful enough to run the fan and the computer, so you have to have the fan also plugged in. Which means I have to unplug everything anytime we move the trailer. So I can't, or we can. We usually cook while we're moving. So in between locations or at the end of the night, there's food on the smoker and it's rolling.
Yeah.
So the normal unit is smart enough and powerful enough that it can run the fan. Everything's hunky-dory. It just sits in there on a magnet. And everything's good. So we had to get creative with some things when moving, playing with fan positioning so the wind going down the road would hit the fan just a little bit to kick some air in. Because it was cold this week. So in a half-hour drive down the highway, we'd lose 80, 90 degrees in the pit just from the air going through. So trying to get any amount of airflow into the pit while we're driving just to ease that a little bit. We were doing. So we managed. We got everything cooked. Everything turned out fine. Some things took a little bit longer. With barbecue, in my opinion, fire management's pretty key for turning out decent barbecue. So I'd say our quality was a touchdown just because we had such fluctuating pit temperatures. But yeah, so that we got through that. It was Wednesday, I think, so day 2, that the wire on the fan somehow broke, like severed in between lunch and dinner service. Like I went to go, everything was working. We disconnected everything, moved. I got everything back out, and there's the wire and the fan not together anymore.
Is it the typical? It pulled out of the fan, or it
Nope, and
broke?
that's where it usually those Pit Vipers, those Barbecue Guru fans usually will break. Is right there
Yeah.
at the. But no, this was at the plug end. So right at the end of the. I know. I don't know what happened, if it got caught on something or what, but yeah, so I had a little plug and a wire and a fan. Luckily, where we were at for dinner that day, I have a friend who happens to have the same fan. So I asked him if I could borrow his until we could get a replacement. So 5 minutes down the road, we ran down there and grabbed it and got that going. So that was great. And then to continue the pit controller issues, on, let's see, Saturday? I don't know, Friday night, Saturday morning or something like that, the replacement took a dump. So my backup, not the replacement, I haven't ordered, my replacement's not going to be here until tomorrow. So my backup took a dump. So this was Saturday morning. It worked fine until I plugged the fan in, and then it would just go into a reboot cycle. So clearly something either got wet or whatever. So I texted my dad, who lives in Newaygo, at 6 o'clock in the morning and see if he's home.
Dad.
I got a response. He's usually up. He's an early riser. I asked him if he was home and if he hit, because he also has, because I leave a controller there with the old pit. I got shit everywhere. So I get a response from him. He's like, yes, I have it still, but I'm not home. I'm in Vegas golfing. So I start doing the math. It's like 3:30 there. I said, "Are you up late or up early?"
You're still golfing.
Yeah. I just happened to get up to go to the bathroom and heard my phone ding. I was like, "Oh, sweet, good timing on my part. Go back to bed." So yeah, and on top of that, we got the 4 inches of crap snow Friday night. So drove the hour north to Newaygo, like a bat out of hell, to get that controller to get back to try to get the pit back up to temp. Luckily, we didn't have service until 3 o'clock, so I had a little bit of playtime there.
This was your first setup at one of your new places, huh?
Yep. and we'll get there. This is a week full of stories. So yeah, finally everything is good. So now I'm running. So I get that one plugged in. Those have different temperature probes. It's a different size plug, just slightly. So I plug that one in, and my door thermometers are showing normal pit temperature of 260 or whatever. The Barbecue Guru is showing that probe is showing 160 degrees. So clearly it's not calibrated or came out of calibration. So I'm like, well, I don't have time to do that today. So I'm using the Fireboard to monitor temperature, and then using the Guru to control the fan. So I know what temperature it actually is in the smoker, and I'm adjusting the Guru temperature on the fan to 140 or whatever it is to get it to show right. Yeah, it's a setup right now. So
wow.
Hopefully my new Fireboard will be here tomorrow. And I don't have to do this one more night. So, with all that, it was still a good week. A lot of our normal locations, the gas station. We did a lot of subdivisions this week. We had 4 subdivisions, which is a lot for us in a week.
Cassopolis loved having you back.
Yeah, so normally the first 2 weeks of the season are our busiest 2 weeks of the year, because we're missed. So last year in our first 6 days, we did, and without events, our busiest 2 weeks, because we've had events that are huge and stuff, but so just normal setup, roadside stuff. Last year, the first 6 days, we did just over 12,000 in sales. And that was with I think a $2,200 opening day, and a couple other. I think Newaygo was like a $2,700 day. So yeah, that's kind of what we were expecting. We've seen that the last couple of years, where that week is busy. So we were down about $2,000 this week over last year's opening week. And the motto of the week was, considering the weather, it's not that bad, because it was not great at any point in time this week. When we were fortunate enough to have breaks in the clouds and have sunny, it was a high of 30 with 15-mile-an-hour winds. And the other times it was snowing. Like we couldn't catch a decent break anywhere. So yeah, all things considered, it was a phenomenal week. Really good turnouts in our subdivision, with the exception of one. And that it was pouring rain and cold, as soon as we got there. That was Thursday night. We had a new subdivision Friday night, which was they do a St. Patrick's Day neighborhood crawl,
garage crawl.
Yeah, it's like adult trick or treating.
yeah, garage crawl.
And then they have food trucks every once in a while. They took last year off because they felt it was getting a little overdone. So they invited us up, and yeah, that was our busiest dinner hour. That was probably our busiest subdivision that we've had in a long time. So that was awesome to see that. And then rewinding to last week, right after we got done with the podcast, I had an interview with the Holland Sentinel. They reached out to us because we're going to be setting up in Holland on a fairly regular basis, I think. But he had seen our Facebook post announcing our partnership with a brew merchant in there, which is a little bar and a little event space, which is really cool. So they'd reached out to us. I had that interview. That article hit Friday, and I got a text message at 6:30 from somebody that still gets a print paper, and said that we were front page, pretty much full page. So we were 3/4 page on the front page of the Holland Sentinel, and featured story on their Facebook page.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good. That's awesome.
So yeah, that was it was interesting to read the Facebook comments on the Holland Sentinel. Largely good. We are between Holland and Hudsonville is kind of a little Michigan Bible Belt. So we did have a couple of comments about the name, and one asked if it was run by a bunch of 14-year-old boys. And the reply to that one that someone did was just a couple red flags insinuating that they were looking for food trucks run by 14-year-old boys, which I thought was pretty funny. And the other negative comment was, how can anybody take your business seriously with such an awful name? So,
first of all, if anything, it's an obscene name, not an awful name. It's a great name.
It's a great name.
Just might be a little obscene. I mean, it is what it is.
The people of Holland did a great job though responding, and there was of the 50 comments, there was like the 2 negatives. So Skippy's off running to let a dog in, or out, or opening the door.
All right, dogs.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard mine yet. It's nice enough outside. I think they're just enjoying laying outside right now. So fast forward then to Saturday when we did it was 3 to 8. Winter weather advisory kicked in on Friday night and went through Sunday. It was blizzard-y whiteout conditions in Hudsonville when we left.
Oof.
It was awful.
At least you're close.
It was still a half hour, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Had it been a regular location that we've been to all the time, or like Newaygo, I don't know that we would have gone. But with the newspaper article saying we were going to be there in a new location, and there wasn't going to be any way I was going to miss it unless we physically could not make it. So we pulled in, not really expecting a ton, but expecting a little bit just because of the weather. And we had orders. We set up. We were ready to go at 3 o'clock. Our first order came in at 3:05, and we had a fairly steady line until about 7:30. And we left at 8. So, we'd get 5 or 6 people at a time, and then there'd be like a 10-minute lull and another 5 or 6 people. Really well received. We're looking forward to going back this Saturday with some decent weather around us, which we'll see what that can really do. Really heavy brisket. We ran out of brisket about halfway through.
Wow.
But I mean, you kind of learn what your location wants by trial and error. So a lot of beans and a lot of brisket. So we'll go heavy brisket next time and see how that goes. Yeah, but yeah, it was a good day.
And you'll end up throwing out a whole bunch of them.
That's the way it usually works. But yeah, considering our Saturday woes last year, this was a huge success. So. Last year Saturdays, no matter where we set up, unless we had an event or a festival, it was our worst day of the week. So we just couldn't find a good Saturday spot anywhere.
Yeah.
So this is going to be good to have in our back pocket for potential to do weekly or multiple times a week if we have holes in. She's also pushing us as a preferred vendor for their events side of the building. And she had multiple people that were having events that came out to do tastings. So hopefully this is a well that we can keep going to. And all because, I mean, a lot of that success came from a Facebook post that I've done 100 times. Just, hey, we're teaming up with this place. And it got seen by the right people and shared enough times. And Holland not being a food truck city, I think helped. That they're so starved to have that kind of novelty. Like it's such a novelty in Holland right now that we're early enough that I think we can really, really capitalize on it. But again, they were on the local news in Grand Rapids about a month ago with the city's TikTok page. Like they are starting to trend younger in their thinking and their communication. Which is good. So they're starting to nothing roadside. It has to be on private property right now, and the property owner is the one responsible for licensing. So and they're only allowed 6 different trucks a year, not 6 days. 6 different trucks is all they're allowed to do. So it's a little bit weird, but it's a start, and we're looking forward doing that a lot. And then, yeah, Newaygo was good. It was cold. Not great weather. We were down a little bit than we normally would be for opening a couple weeks or last week's, but the weather was terrible. I think when we opened, it was 28 or something like that. Oof. And windy.
Yesterday our opening was my sign. I had a new menu board made, so that goes inside, a plastic foldable sign, and even I had to bungee cord it, or else it would just keep flying away. The wind was just so bad. It almost felt like this will bring you back time. Do you remember Warsaw and the wind that we had in Warsaw that one?
Dude, I peed my pants that night.
Don't doubt that whatsoever.
So, yeah, I remember the microburst is what they declared it. But, yeah, I was in pop-up. I was in my 10 by...
Yeah. To the point where I saw you. I came out and saw... your spot, all I saw was your smoker, and I thought you had literally just packed up and went home.
Yeah, we finished that contest out of the back of the car.
Yeah. So, I remember that.
We lost everything. Steve and I were trying to hold down our sleeping tent. And he was saying, I'm going to go throw a bottle of Jack Daniels into the Twister, and it's Twister the sequel. And I was laughing so effing hard.
So this was probably, 7 years ago? 6 years ago? Yeah. Anyway, so basically it was just overnight during a competition, the wind just got so bad to the point where my trailer was a V-nose, and it sounded like, 4 grown men just banging on the front of that trailer. And where I was parked yesterday, the wind was just going straight at it, and it felt like the same thing. And sometimes it's scary because you just never know what's out there. Luckily, I wasn't parked around. I was in a parking lot, not around any trees.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still scary sometimes.
Yeah. So a couple days ahead, because we knew the fork, it was going to be cold. There's a coffee truck that frequents the Newaygo County area. Actually, they're a party coffee truck. So we'd reached out to them, seeing if they had anything going on, if they wanted to set up with us, letting them know that we were figuring that we were going to have lines that day, and it might be good for them and good for us. We can kind of work off each other's fan bases, and they had a pretty good day. They asked us if we'd be willing to have them at any other time they don't have something going on Sundays, and I said absolutely. Our people were sending husbands over into the other line to get coffees and coming back, and it was great. They're an interesting group, that coffee truck, and I would love to have them on because they have gone accidentally viral-ish.
Good for them.
And they just opened last year with 4 different trucks.
Wow.
All different stuff.
Talking about going all in.
So it's coffee snacks. So they have like a small little hot dog vendor type vehicle, but that's their coffee truck is the one that they are getting booked literally everywhere. So they got called by the Kentucky Derby to come down. So they got lasers, lights on the outside of it, and it looks like a frickin' dance club at night. It's a pretty cool thing, and they really embrace that kind of party coffee thing.
Good for them.
Yeah, they're killing it, and they're pretty much only doing weekends now. So
good for them.
I walked over to see how they were doing. She's like, "This parking lot stuff's for the birds, man." She's like, "We can do a festival and do like a $12,000 in a couple days and take the rest of the week off." I'm used to having lines like nonstop. Like, this is my life.
Jeez.
So, but I was glad to have that partnership, and we're going to try to get some other trucks up there with us too. See if we can't do 2 trucks on a Sunday up there to try to get a little bit more buzz around the day and
make it like a mini rally.
Yep.
And we have somebody just posted they're having a food truck rally by food trucks over on the east side of the state.
Awesome.
They're putting it on. It's too far for me to go, or else I'd love to.
They probably heard about it here. The idea they got it from here.
Oh, absolutely, they had to have, for sure. I mean, everybody
I'm the
hears
only
it.
one that has good ideas, and everybody steals them. So, as discussed in the last episode.
Wow. Hi, my name is Josh. I have an ego. So, because you're the only one that's ever come up with the Mother Clucker sandwich.
I will make my formal apology. I was a little sensitive last Monday. I was a little stressed out.
I believe you might have even been proven wrong, but that's fine. It's okay.
Proven wrong?
Yeah. Did you see the post?
What are you talking about? Proven wrong?
Didn't you see the post?
Clearly not. I've been busy working.
Okay, so our top fan, hashtag top fan, Bubba.
I saw him post something.
Yeah, he posted like spring or something of like 2014 or something like that, 2015. The initial post of the woodpile Mother Clucker sandwich. Whatever. So technically, if you want to go off it, you kind of stole his idea. Just saying.
No, I was making those during barbecue contest back in 2010.
Oh, I never heard
Ought 9.
Ought 9. Yeah. No,
so,
I want. You might be the originator of chicken and waffles without waffles.
That's right. So yeah, I was a little stressed out last week and last weekend. Everything is okay.
I accept your apology. So I got a comment that I'd like to share with you. Luckily, last week was good. I was sold out like 3 out of the 6 days I did, and I always post that I sell out. I got a comment by another barbecue truck. Constant sellers. Sure.
Was it to make more food?
Basically, it was basically like selling out is lost sale or equals lost sales. So I'll start with my feeling on this, which was originally, I believe, I'll give you props. It was originally your feeling. I believe if you're selling out, you create demand to where people will try to get there faster or closer to not wait, basically not wait to get food till the last minute. On the flip side, people got to understand that it's freaking March, and I don't like being out when it's 20 degrees out. And I have nothing but love for all the customers that stop when it's 20 degrees out and windy and nasty. And you have so much respect for you, and I appreciate you stopping and all of that. But I make enough food where if I do sell out, I'm comfortable with how much I made. And come springtime, I will start making more.
Happy first day of spring.
Exactly.
Or tomorrow or something. It's close.
When weather affords the opportunity for more people to stop, where weather isn't the I guess not the driving force of people stopping, or not stopping, I should say, when it's nasty out, then I'll start making more food. But at this point, it's just I'm happy with what I've made, happy with what I've sold, and kind of get over it. Like it's how I'm comfortable. Risk versus reward. We talked about that in one of our first episodes. Risk versus reward. So you and I both pretty much make fresh stuff every single day, and I want to continue doing that. And so I'm not a reheater when I have the ability to make fresh stuff. So that's my soapbox. But I hate getting that comment all the time, like, "Oh, you lost so much sales." You don't know how many sales I lost because you don't know how many people would have stopped. I could have stayed open for the next 2 hours and not had one person stop, and I'd still be in the same boat, but I'd be throwing out food.
Yeah.
So that's my feeling on that.
So yeah, I typically follow in the same train of thought. Last year we made a commitment to try to not sell out as often. And we threw out more food last year, which was to be expected. But yeah, selling out right now makes sense for this time of year. Because, yeah, the weather is awful and you don't know how many people are going to come. all your metrics are thrown out the window for your locations. I'd say even cut them in half. So if you have a subdivision that you have consistently 60, 75 transactions at, you go right now when it's 30 degrees out and iffy precipitation, I'd say at best you cut it in half, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you're going to cook for that. And then if there's a happy surprise and you get more people than you expected, great. Yeah, there's been a lot of that. And I saw it on one of the other food truck groups. I don't remember which one. The villainizing of selling out of food. And I think you have to view each truck on its own. And with barbecue, yeah, it's a little bit of a badge of honor, especially when you cook for a good day. You know, you plan on having a good day and you still sell out.
So at that time, sorry to interrupt, at that time you had a great day.
Yeah.
Like you plan for a good day, but if you sell out it's a great day.
Yeah. Yeah, and celebrate that shit. I mean, and
I know we're gonna get hate comments for all
I don't
this.
care. So okay. There's barbecue trucks out there that they cook on a day and they cook for the week. So it's easy for them to just heat up another pan of pork if they're running low. Like they'll have some stashed in the fridge and ready to go if they need it or whatever. And that's fine, and they turn out a fine product. That's not when I opened my truck and made the decision, that's not how I wanted to do it. I wanted to cook every day, and I wanted to give the freshest possible, highest quality product I could within reason, you know. So with that being said, we run a little bit tighter on what we're willing to, and it's the loss that you're comfortable with. How much meat am I comfortable throwing away determines how much extra I'm going to cook. So I have an idea of what we can do, or what we normally do. So at like the gas station for lunch, like I have a pretty good idea of what every one of those is going to look like. Down to I have a pretty good idea we're probably going to sell 4 to 5 pounds of pork, just pounds of pork, you know, and then have a decent amount of sandwiches and stuff. So I can kind of gauge how much I cook based on that. And then it's okay. We're going to try to build now. So we're going to see if we can take it a little bit further, but I'm not going to go crazy and do double the meat. I'm going to do, you know, we're going to throw out a special or an extra special and see if there's that. If that we can just make that meat go a little bit further. But then there's locations where if we start to get consistently busy and we start to see that where we're starting to run low on food on a consistent basis, then we start adding additional food.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So if you didn't, on my truck, I don't sell by the pound.
Yep.
If you made the choice not to sell by the pound, would you cook less? Knowing that you have a lot of people that come up or
yes.
I'm not gonna say a lot, but a good amount of people come up and ask for by the pounds.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because I think I don't think that those people would necessarily just buy sandwiches instead. Because we do so much bulk, like 2 pounds, and they take it home for dinner for their family.
Yeah.
Those people aren't going to buy 4 sandwiches at lunch and take them home for dinner, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think we would definitely, lose some sales, and yeah, we would cook less. So last year in Newaygo, as we were prepping for that day, we look at last year's numbers, and we sold 22 straight pounds of pork and 16 straight pounds of brisket. So we planned on similar numbers this year. Yesterday we sold like 5 pounds of pork. So yeah, we stayed open longer than we were last year. We did not sell out yesterday, but we still threw away a pan and a half of pork.
Yeah,
because we didn't sell the pounds that we were expecting to. So yeah,
I have seen other food trucks post. I follow one out of Kentucky, and I see him post, "Hey, I have 5 pounds of pork left. Next person who gives me $35 gets it," or something like that.
We've definitely done that.
Have you? Okay.
So we've been down into the last half hour with like 3 pounds of pork left and just no one's like everybody that came in the last half hour is looking for brisket.
Yeah.
I got these 3 pounds. You buy 2, I'll give you the last one for free, and I'll throw it aside. And some buns.
Just so you don't have to
Get rid of it.
make something out of it. That's the thing. Yeah.
So selling out for us is good. I mean, unless you're just severely undercooking just to try to have short days and stuff, selling out's a good thing. Like you said, I cook to the amount of sales I need to make.
Yeah.
So if I'm comfortable, so I have a set number in mind for sales for the day. I'm going to cook to be able to make that money and a little bit more. And if it goes, it goes. If not, it doesn't. I think for different styles of truck, let's go with like a hot dog truck or a hamburger truck. Those guys selling out, I will agree that is poor planning.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy.
Not to mention, you can have a runner go to Meijer or whatever and get 25 packs of hot dogs and another 10 pounds of beef. So I can see both sides of it, but I don't think you can generalize villainizing sellouts. Yeah.
I will celebrate every one of our sellouts. Everyone has been legit sold out. We used to cook less food because we were getting less customers and we were selling out more often, and that was fine. Now if I start selling out every day during lunch and never adjust for my dinner services, because we're supposed to be open lunch and dinner every day, then I hope someone fucking calls me out on my shit.
Yeah,
unless I'm doing $3,000 lunches.
Absolutely, that would be a problem. If you're purposely going out for, this past Friday was my first lunch and dinner or I'll second one actually, but lunch and then subdivision afterwards. And I made just enough at both. I still threw away some, which sucked, but it wasn't as much as I probably would have if it would have been. I was happy with the way it went. I'm not used to the whole moving thing, so that was quite a shock.
Yeah,
but it was good enough.
So I mean, we've even had days where we're moving locations from lunch to dinner, and we'll sell out for lunch. Like we'll stop service to make sure that
because you want to have enough for the next. Yeah, you want to have enough for dinner.
So and that is where you really have to calculate your risk.
Yeah.
You're shutting down guaranteed sales right now in hopes that you're still going to have those sales.
Yeah, those sales at night.
And we don't do that often. We'll feel pretty comfortable with our dinner location to do that kind of thing. So,
yeah.
Or if it's like a subdivision that we've never been to before, I refuse to cancel on a first time location.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because it just makes you look flaky and bad. So, I sell out, man. Sell all your food.
Yep.
Go home early.
Yeah, I mean, you're on a truck for 6 days a week. At least enjoy some family time if that's the case.
What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
let's give a shout out to our families for supporting us.
Thank you.
Ish.
Yeah.
What do you? Yeah, it just I hate getting those, but I know we're going to see some comments, and please feel free to give comments. Like I'd love to hear everybody's opinion, whether you're a burger truck, a hot dog truck, Asian truck, taco truck, whatever.
It'd be nice to have some of these geared towards Skippy for a change, so I'm glad he brought it up. I've been under the bus for like a month now.
Well, you just fit under there so snugly. Let's see. Do we have any other comments from our lovely Facebook group?
I don't know. Last week was I can't hear Skippy.
Yeah.
Audio should be much better this week. I think we got everything figured out. Sorry, everybody, for last week's.
Nobody wanted all Josh all the time.
I could hear you. And I chose that you weren't saying anything valid enough to. Anybody else
so
hear.
I got a phone call from one of our guys, Chad Urbanovic. He is contemplating doing the same thing that we are. So he has asked an enormous amount of questions, which we appreciate. Just ask that if you're listening, Chad, just post them on Facebook so we can all can see them. We all can respond. But the biggest thing I got from him is, what do you like to get into this business? This is a completely different topic. To get into this business, you have to be comfortable with what you know and what you can cook. So in talking with him, he's a barbecue guy. But we started talking about trailers and everything like this. And then he brought up, well, I can do pizza. I'm like, have you done pizza before? Well, yeah, I've done it in my backyard, but there's no pizza places around here that'll deliver. I'm like, okay, so now you want to be a delivery pizza place. So in talking with him, I'm going to emphasize this as much as I can. When you start this business, the first thing you need to think of, even before financing, even before what it's going to take, is what can you cook? And what do you believe, what's your strong suit? Like, I can't cook steak to save my life. I am not a steak cook at all. For some reason, it just comes out, I'll always want medium, and it comes out medium well or medium rare. And I don't get even what I like. My wife's a trooper and eats it anyway, which I appreciate. But so I will never open a steakhouse because I don't know how to cook steak. Yes, I can hire people that know how to cook steak, but whatever. But get into this business doing what you love. And if that's cooking pizza, cook pizza. Tiki Sam was on our podcast. That was his passion, was cooking pizza. I did just find out, by the way, that he was a former magician. And if you look at him, you can kind of think he's got a little sleight of hand. But
we talked about that on our podcast.
Did we? He was a magician?
Yes, because I remember bringing up the magic capital of the world is in Michigan.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So he didn't open a magician truck. He opened up a pizza truck.
Is there a market for a magician truck? A magic truck?
Yeah, I think so. A traveling magician. Absolutely. Little 4x6 trailer with all your props in there, your bunnies, your doves, your birds, whatever.
That is like a great idea I just had.
Yeah, so the next person who's listening to the podcast wants to start a magic truck, you owe Josh and I 5%. Right. But just have a passion in what you're doing. Make sure it's something that you're not going to get bored of, because you're going to sink a lot of money into this, and it's going to be something that you love. So to Chad, figure out something that you love. He's going to come serve with me next week to see if it's something that he wants to do, which should be a fun time.
Being able to cook is a good thing. But it's not even close to the only thing needed to do this. You have to be a lot crazy and willing for it to be your entire life for the times that you're open. So, and half of your life the rest of the time. And if that is not something, like if you think it's going to be easier than what you're doing now, you are probably sadly mistaken.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. If you're thinking it's just going to be, you're going to go out and have fun, and it's like for us barbecue guys and like Chad, it's not a nonstop barbecue contest type of atmosphere.
Hey Josh,
I tried.
When you were working IT, what were your job? What was your hours of work?
Like for my whole day, like I'd get up at 4, leave my house by 5, and be home at 6 p.m. So they were still long days, but yeah, actual working hours were 7 to 4-ish.
But basically, other than drive time, it was 8 hours, 9 hours a day.
Yeah, I sat in a nice air-conditioned office that had a nice fitness center in the building. A lot of lunches brought in for staff. Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. I had 4 weeks of paid vacation when I left. 401k match. Yeah, I had it was a hard decision to leave, and I had great health insurance, and
now you're a poor man running a food truck.
Yeah, and for 2 years I was uninsured, and yeah, there is 0 paid vacations,
Yep.
at least for us for right now. I will get there at some point.
You need to have the drive. You need to have the. I took so our city has an entrepreneurial center downtown.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Lean Rocket Lab, and they're actually hosting. They're doing a giveaway, or basically like you fill out a form to tell you what your entrepreneurial score is. I should send it to you to see what yours is.
Okay.
Because mine wasn't that good, to be honest with you. And they're actually giving one lucky person, business, whatever, up to $100,000 forgivable grant to either make their business better, or open a new business. They ask about hiring people. How many jobs do you think you'll create? I think something like this for, to take a little quiz. Now, granted, it's a quiz based off of what they believe an entrepreneurial spirit's like. Out of 100, I got 75%, which I've always been a C student, so I didn't look too much into that.
It's pretty on brand. Okay.
Right? It's pretty on track. But I think, something like that is, I hope that it's something that new people should look into, but it's also something that I think, should be in every city in the U.S. It shouldn't just be SBA, small business associations, that you look to for all this stuff. There should be like an entrepreneurial avenue that can give you mentoring, because they take local business leaders and that are willing to donate their time for help. And it's an amazing opportunity. I'm going to try to reach out and see if I can get them on our podcast for some information, but I think it's what they're doing is fantastic. It's not something that I took the test just because I thought it'd be interesting. It's not something that I'll apply for. I'm not, even if I did open my retail shop that I want in the next 4 years, I'm not creating, 100 jobs or 50 jobs. I might be creating, 5. So I want it to go to somebody that can actually really use that to open up something that's going to give the community, a good amount of jobs.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool. I just found out about
that's awesome. It's hard for those quizzes because you can kind of, I haven't seen that one that you did, but a lot of them you can kind of skew the numbers because the answers you're looking for, largely. But it is not. The true entrepreneur spirit is a rare thing, I think, and to be able to have that is special, where you are willing to take large risks and sacrifice everything for long periods of time, if not forever, to try to get what your vision is off the ground. So, but yeah, those that have it and those that are willing to do what's necessary are huge successes, and our country was built on that. So the next one would be Skippy with his empire.
Listen, Skippy Empire.
Skippy Empire. But yeah, the stuff we're doing. Yeah, we run our trucks and we do our social media and we do this podcast. At no point in time when I asked Skippy to start this was it like, hey, this is going to be a huge revenue source for us. We're going to be famous and millionaires from our podcast. It was, for me, it's another way to kind of just get our name out there and add some credibility to the people behind the trucks, which we haven't done at all. Add credibility to either one of us, I don't think, especially me. But just trying to help other people see through the sunshine and rainbows, to use your Facebook post from yesterday or today. That the amount of sunshine and rainbows that we get as food trucks is relatively small compared to the work that gets put in. So generally there are more hard days than easy days or good days,
Yeah, for sure. Right, absolutely.
And Saturday for me was a hard day. With just, I mean, it was just one thing after another with the snow and the controller issues and everything else. And it's just, you have to give yourself little mantras to get yourself through those. For those that are high anxiety, easily stressed, not comfortable in tense situations, this is probably not the field for you.
I just said something like that to somebody competing. It was his first ever competition in that type of environment where it was, they're parked between two buildings, so it's nothing but a wind tunnel, and they don't know what to do when they're facing that type of adversity, and right. Okay, you just spent $100 to enter this competition, well, we just spent $500 between fuel and meat to go to this subdivision that we're praying people are gonna be there. Right. And I'm not too much of a religious person to pray, but sometimes it calls for a little divine intervention if at all possible.
But anybody that's listening,
I have found, and I'm a big proponent of, everything happens for a reason, no matter what that reason is. If it's a completely absolute shitty day and you made the decision to go out, you made that decision for a reason. And hopefully you're doing whatever it takes to get people to come out and buy from you and be that sunshine and rainbows, mm-hmm. Just view every day like it's a winning day, have a winning mindset, and don't sweat there's a book that's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and you'll find out that a lot. Stuff. Yeah, it's all small stuff. It's all, short of your engine going dead on your food truck, you can always find somebody to tow you to wherever you're going, but you might be out a couple dollars, but don't sweat the small stuff.
And there's the difference for, I don't want to seem like it's ego right now, but the difference between a backyard barbecue guy that everybody loves is their food, and the true pit masters that do this for a living and do it well, is that, good Lord, even I was near the end of my rope in trying to get shit done with the pit controller issues. Like, being able to adjust to 1,000 different variables and things going right or wrong with those variables is what takes you from backyard cook to true pitmaster. Mm-hmm. And I would say there's even guys on barbecue circuits right now that I don't know that could handle that amount of adversity during a barbecue contest.
Yeah,
because sure. Time to go, old man. Kids are soft these days, damn it. And our barbecue competitors have gotten soft these days.
I agree.
I think I'm happy to see Stick Burners coming back, and Jay and Outlaw Crew are doing a great job.
I love mine.
I hope to have one someday. And where you're not having pit controllers, you're tending a fire, you're doing those that can tend a fire and turn out good meat, I think are the better cooks and the better pit masters. Than our set it and forget it friends. And I'm a set it and forget it guy, proudly. But for the longest time, I sure the hell wasn't.
Nope.
And I won my first contest on a 500-gallon old propane tank, feeding the frickin' firebox and manipulating the width on the door. And the Outlaws now are going hot and fast. And back in the day, you didn't do that. You did low and slow. And I was cooking at 240 on a stick burner, feeding a fire for 12 hours, 13 hours.
Staying up all night.
Up all night, yep. I mean, I never did a 24-hour brisket like some of our other friends have. All Hell was famous for that.
I don't think they do it anymore.
No, not anymore, but there was definitely a couple times where I showed up at a contest and they had a brisket getting ready to go on a smoker at noon. And then there's
Tuffy's-
the famous break and wrap brisket that they did at Taste of Grand Rapids one year.
So, Tuffy Stone said it one time. I think it was on a Barbecue Pitmaster show. And for anybody who doesn't know, Tuffy Stone, legend in barbecue. Got to meet him one time. Great guy. Anyway, it's all about how you handle catastrophe. You know, you might think that whatever you're dealing with right now is the worst thing that could ever happen. Chances are there's a lot worse things. So, yeah, just keep your mind moving, keep everything going. Don't give up. You know, don't give up unless that's it. If your trailer, there was a bunch of posts in our Facebook group last year about trailers like burning to the ground. You know, for whatever reason. You know, great.
Close.
Guess what? You got insurance. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you lost wages and stuff like that, but you got insurance and everybody's safe. So just don't worry about the small stuff. Just keep moving forward. Don't overthink things. I don't know how we got really started on this, but I think it's a good reminder that this is the profession you chose, and make the best of it while you're doing it.
Yeah, I think we could do a whole episode on some books. Another good one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh yeah,
just yeah,
that one.
It's a rough business. I mean, being a business
Being self-employed is rough.
Yeah.
Being self-employed itself is rough.
It's not just food trucks. It's you got to have some mental toughness, and it's gonna screw with every system you have in your body, digestive and otherwise.
One of the things I always hashtag in most of my posts is humbled and grateful.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when you're a self-employed business owner, whatever you do, you need to be humble. You need to be grateful. You know, need to be anybody that comes to, especially with where prices are now, somebody that comes and chooses to spend their money on product that you serve it's a great feeling, and it's what keeps us going. What's wrong now? You're going like this. You're going like this.
I lost my mouse.
Oh.
I couldn't find my cursor.
The dog one of the dogs eat it?
Among other good books, Who Moved My Cheese? So, better for a larger work environment than a small business. But yeah, anyway.
I had a mentor in the mortgage business that always told me, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yep.
Always grow. Always grow.
Yeah, and that's part of my problem. And I think part of a lot of entrepreneurs, not really a problem, but what makes them special is I think it's the startup portion, the getting going journey that's the most exciting part. Like I have 3 other businesses ready to go in the back of my head, like, and they're not food truck related at all. They're there.
I was going to start singing Under Pressure.
Yeah, they're there ready to go, and it's like just need location, capital, and all the other stuff.
If I had your money, I'd burn mine. Come on, you got Sweet Racks money.
My money.
You got nothing for that.
Well, I do. Hold on, just a second. I am going to touch that one in just a second, because we've been very open with our listeners, and I think this should be no different than any other day. So, I got to respond to a subdivision really quick, getting a day next week. So,
ooh,
yeah, we have a couple early open dinner dates that I'm just trying to get filled real quick. Some slow responses back from some subdivisions. So,
well, while you're talking about that, so did you already respond? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so I just got an invite to a food truck rally in Chelsea, Michigan, which is about 25 miles from me. Place I go all the time, or try to go all the time. And it's from a like a vendor market kind of thing. that they want to host a food truck rally as part of their vendor market. And the question I had was, I saw it. They want 8 food trucks and 5 drink trucks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, that sounds like a lot. To me, that sounds like a lot. So I asked this person who's putting it on, what kind of advertising do you plan on doing, right? And I got a response. The fairgrounds and I will both be advertising. Every event I advertise. Now she's in charge of putting on like little vendor markets, Michigan makers markets kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Come peddle your stuff. Every event I advertise hits an average about 200,000 seen. And I advertise everywhere from Facebook to bulletin boards to 5 local newspapers, because again, people are reading newspapers. And this one will actually have a radio spot. Now, the other downside is in that same city, they have a Sights and Sounds Festival, which is basically like, I think there's 4 food trucks, a band or a couple bands, and this is all happening on a Thursday night in the same city. So, with the information I've given you, it's free to enter, no food truck fees.
Okay.
It's from 5 to 8 on a Thursday night in July, late July. Do you believe, based off what I've told you, that it would be worth going to with that many food trucks and that many drink trucks?
You said 8 food trucks and 5 drink trucks?
Yes.
For me, I'd go, and here's why. And this is a day that I would be okay selling out. So I would do a lunch service that day somewhere, just to try to hedge the bet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it a weekday?
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I would do one of our normal lunch locations, and then I would go to there for dinner, and I would cook more food than I normally would for a normal dinner location, but not an exorbitant amount. You know, I would go to have, and I would expect to have. I would go and be hopeful that I would get the same that I would at like a subdivision type of thing, and maybe I'll do better, but I'll do my acceptable risk and acceptable loss for the day as a subdivision loss, and maybe just cook a little bit more than I would normally for that day.
I was thinking similar. Yeah, I was thinking about that similarly.
So yeah, I'm going to hedge my bets for lunch, and hopefully that's a good lunch day location that we have, one of our better lunches, and so that way we got a decent cushion there if the evening just turns into a crap show. So
yeah,
that's where I would be.
Okay, and that's kind of where I said I'm in. I think that the town should be packed. I worry that this is a town where I set up a local distillery, and problem is there's a barbecue joint like next block over from me. Mm-hmm. So I do okay, but not, I think I've done maybe over $1,000 once. But other than that, I mean, it's kind of a food truck rally that has no fee. So I'm thinking it's just a normal dinner service at just what you said, local subdivision, maybe even a local brewery that we go to. So I'll treat it the exact same way.
So back to your Sweet Rex money comment.
Oh, hey, yeah.
I'm broke. So, I mean, Skippy and I have talked about it a lot of times.
You just had a great week. How are you broke?
Money gets tight over the winter.
Oh, boy, does it.
And to get going in the spring costs a lot of money. If you're not, I mean, for us, we do pretty low levels of even dry stock towards the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And then we usually start fresh every spring. So, I mean, we have, bags and side cup, like everything. We're buying everything in the spring. Charcoal, which we get by the pallet. It's a $1,000 order every time we get charcoal. Sauces and rubs.
Which doesn't. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
With knowing the charcoal that you buy,
mm-hmm.
The expensive rainforest stuff, $1,000 a pallet just doesn't seem like a lot. Like it seems like a damn good deal.
It's not bad. It's far cheaper than buying it individual bags.
And you went through one pallet last year?
No.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Like 5.
You went through 5 pallets last year? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we go through, so they're 35-pound bags, and we go through 5 a week.
Wow. Okay.
So just
there's what 20 bags of, oh no, there'd be 50 bags of
40, I think, or something like that.
40,
I don't remember.
And he uses expensive rainforest stuff, so
yeah, it's high quality, and it burns clean, and it burns long, it burns hot.
It's definitely
a
good
lot
stuff.
of ash. I've used a lot of different charcoals before we landed on this one permanently. So yeah, I mean, you got to stock up on rubs and sauces if you're not making your own. And then, let's not forget our most expensive thing, all the protein.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have to buy all that stuff before you start your first week, I mean, you're looking at a $7,000-$8,000 expense, to get rolling again. If you have to buy everything.
Just get back up and going.
Yeah, for the week. So, yeah, when you throw in things like your controller takes a shit on you, you're like, I don't know that I have the $300 to buy another one this week. So let's
pedal some more meat real quick.
Yeah, let's redneck some stuff together to get rolling until we can get some income coming in. Yeah, we had a great week, but we were buying meat day to day just to try to keep the big expense out. So there's still money to, pay employees.
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I was, you actually worked, 2 to 3 days a week, doing your paninis. And
yeah,
when I first started with you, I said, hey, do you really take off 3 months? And you're like, yeah, really take off 3 months. So I'm like, okay, let's take off 3 months and see what happens. And by the end of February, I'm shitting my pants. Like, I'm like, money's getting real low. So yeah, I'll do certain things, but I need to, maybe Pam has an idea on this whole banking thing. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's just to figure out a better way to do things. If it's just, worrying more about, trying to do some more catering over the winter or something like that. I know we talked about that a while back, but
yeah. And next winter should get better. Another part of my spring issue was some miscalculation with my lease partner for the trailer. We were expecting the last payment to be made in January. And the sales guy gave me that day. But he was going based off of what he thought was the origination based on our email conversation. The actual origination of the lease wasn't until May.
Oh, you still have till May?
Yeah. Well, no. And then I had forgotten this part, and that's just poor bookkeeping on my side that I wasn't keeping full track. We did a 2-month pause for COVID. So we took advantage of that because, we were just starting up, and I would save every penny I can now. So, July is our so everything. So as you were planning in the fall for your winter and your expenses and stuff, I was doing the same thing. I'm not planning on having 2 extra payments to make before we opened again, of a total of $5,400. That came out of the account that I wasn't expecting to come out of the account. So. Yeah, this winter got really interesting for me. Unfortunately,
can I ask when you found that out?
When the payment pulled in February.
Oh, automatic.
Yeah. Well, it was the week before, and I had sent out an email to them to say, "Hey, I think I've made the last payment. Can we talk about how I get my title and everything? What that process looks like?" And it took a week and a half for them to get back to me after the payment pulled.
Yeah.
I was, well, maybe I'd have more payments, or maybe they just have it on auto pay and it doesn't have an end date, or.
And then you look at your bank account and realize, so I'm gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, and that's all on me for not keeping better track of origination and number of payments made and all that stuff. But there was a lot going on in 2019 and 2020 when all that stuff was happening.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And look at it as it was a blessing at the time that they had that, you had that ability to take that 2-month pause.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You never know what would have made. Never know what would happen.
I don't know that we would have made it without taking a loan from family or something to kind of get us through that summer a little bit. Because definitely we weren't doing the sales we're doing now. So I mean everything just freaking adds up right now. We're still. It was nice to have. I didn't have my low balance alert in Huntington today, so that was nice.
That's always a good thing. I know.
Yes. We're back above that amount, so and it's not like at $100 or anything. It's at $2,500. So we're back above that. Yes.
500.
Shit guy gotta get paid. So,
Chris, I'm gonna need you. Chris, I'm gonna need you to stay unemployed for another month.
Don't even joke about that shit. I don't want to hear about it. So,
no wonder.
It was a positive week. We made money this week, so definitely a uptick in everything. So that's good. And a couple more weeks will be, we can go to GFS without having to really think about it.
So one of the things. So as bad as this sounds. So I took a loan through Square. We talked about that to buy my Outlaw.
Yep.
And I now have like $148 left on it. But going through the wintertime, Square, they basically they calculate whatever loan you can do based off your amount of sales.
Mm-hmm.
And going through the wintertime, I'm not getting those loan offers, of course. And I'm thinking, all right, well, if it gets that bad, maybe Square will love me a little bit.
Yeah.
And Square didn't love me because I wasn't putting any sales in.
Yeah, you have to do that in like October.
Exactly.
And really, I mean, maybe not a bad option, if you...
As a just in case. Yeah. If you got to pay your...
I mean, because from what I saw when I was looking at them, I mean, it's a pretty low interest amount. So even if you just stash it into your bank and they just pull the payments out of there, I mean, really...
And it's every 60 days. It's not like you're paying... So anyway, I get through my first couple weeks. I finally get a Square loan offer. I'm like, yes, I'm back. Square likes me again. It might be for $3, but hey, they're offering me money, and it's like, it's the little things, right? It's the little things that make you happy. It's like, oh, I'm back to making money now because Square thinks I can pay them back.
Yeah, that was my favorite email not to get this morning.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Because it was every time I would like $30 for gas for the generators, I'd get low balance alert every time I spent any sort of money. I know. Leave me alone. I know I'm poor.
Like, come on, I'm just a poor food truck owner. We figure it out. No, I thought it was pretty hilarious when I got that first one. I'm like, yes, I'm safe.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris about it this week. I was like, because he's kind of living through it with me because we're running to the store all the time.
Yeah.
I was like,
Chris, please pick up only one pork butt instead of two, please.
I mean, he took it for granted, and so did I. When we're placing a $2,800 GFS order,
Yeah.
It's like you just run the card because you just don't have to worry about
Cha-ching.
it. Yep. I mean, it hurts a little bit, like you recognize the number, but you're like, but it's there and it's coming back, and so it's a little bit harder to have that faith week one when a really really bad week, and then you're like, now what, But luckily, it wasn't a really really bad week, and I didn't think it was going to be.
What's in my freezer that I forgot about that's still frozen that I can thaw out real quick and make a buck off of?
I think there's a Daily Deals near me. I wonder what they have that's almost expired.
I got a message yesterday that somebody told me to go to my local Meijer because they had racks of ribs for like 99 cents a pound.
Really?
They were trying to get rid of it, and he got like 60 racks for like $6 a rack, and I'm like, damn, like I don't have room in the freezer right now for that stuff.
Yeah, so it's good to be back to
Positive
a little bit
ground.
easier breathing right now.
I can go out to eat.
Yeah, it's nice to be back for sure. And I know you and I talked a little bit over the last week as I was shopping and stuff, prices on stuff. So yeah, things are definitely looking good. Costco briskets I actually got for cheaper than what I could have gotten them at GFS by about 10 cents.
Yeah, I messaged you, but I stopped at my local Costco, and brisket was like $3.48 a pound
for prime.
In pre-case.
Yeah.
Pre-case.
Yeah, good primes.
Now, I asked the meat monger there what he's like, nope, can't order anything. You come in, you can ask if we have cases. He's like, because we don't order, they just go by what they're sold.
Yes, they do.
I understand that. I wanted to call him.
The right guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I talked to a Kurt. Anyway.
Kurt. That makes sense.
Yeah. So ribs were good. It's a 3-pack for $3 a pound. So it was 100. But it was 15 racks. I thought there were only 12.
No, so it's 5 packages in a case.
Yeah, and they're all they're three per package, and they're all good looking ribs too. They're meaty.
I got 2 bad ones.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not 2 bad packs, just 2 bad racks. They were just short. I was about 3 bones short on each of them.
Yeah, these were meaty. They were long.
Yeah, I love those Swift ribs are phenomenal. But yeah, I got a case too, and I was surprised at how cheap it was.
Some of your price, like I had to renew my Costco membership because that's where I get my pickles from. But their prices where I was compared to the prices that you were telling me were like way off. Yeah. Like boneless, skinless thighs are still like $3.50 a pound.
Okay. A note: I did not pick up boneless, skinless thighs. I thought I did.
Oh, that's why they were 99 cents a pound. I have done that before. Yes.
Imagine my surprise when we were supposed to have little cluckers that day, and I pulled those bad boys out of the package, and they both have bones and skin. I was like, this cannot go on a bun.
No. And then you spend 3 hours deboning and deskinning.
I did 1, and then I was like, nope, we're just doing chicken thighs for a special today.
Competition chicken thighs. See? Throw those on the menu.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, price differences, because even we have 2 Costco's in Grand Rapids, and their prices aren't the same.
Yeah.
So the guy told me, because the more expensive one is by my house. He said the other one is cheaper because there's a Sam's like a mile away.
Okay.
So their pricing influences theirs. So they are usually 10 to 20 cents cheaper a pound on our proteins.
Wow.
For brisket and ribs. So.
Yeah,
but it's a half-hour drive for me to get there.
Yeah, Sam's briskets have come down. Their pork butts finally came down, but their GFS price, they were like $168 a pound. I think we got asked by a couple people in the very beginning of this podcast is why don't you have stuff delivered? And it's like because I like to find the best deals, but I'm also in control of stuff that's coming in. So the more I'm in control of it, the hopefully better I can do, more I can do. So, but yeah, I gotta go shopping tomorrow.
I will be doing a little bit today for service tomorrow. Because I think we're probably gonna stick to a lot of shopping trips this week, just to keep adding to our little buffer before we get crazy. So we have lots of things to order still.
I do too. I'm down to the last like paper goods that I need to replenish all the paper goods, all stuff like that. So it was paid $105 I think they were like 20 cents a piece for paper bags for the 20-pound squats at GFS, which surprised me. That seemed high to me. That does. Oh, foil.
Uh-huh.
Foil. Do not buy foil at GFS unless you buy it by the case. Sam's I can buy 18 by 500, so 18 inches wide by 500 feet. It's like $37
Yeah.
for the same stuff, and I think that's Reynolds. For the same, no, it's Members Mark, but whatever. Same stuff at Gordon's is like $75 for the same size.
Yeah.
Unless you buy it by the case. If you look at Gordon's price tags, you can see individual, and then you can see by the case and how much it quote unquote saves you.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It was like it saves you like 100, like their pans.
Yeah.
If you buy it by the case, it saves you like $165.
Yeah.
Buying it by the case.
Never buy
buying
individual pans.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and the Jiffy Foil or Jif Foil pans at GFS,
Oh,
they are like low grade, made out of aluminum foil.
Yes,
are
they're-
the worst things ever.
you put a pork butt inside, and then you pick it up by the edges. The pork butt will sink the pan.
I saw them there again, and they're half the price of the GFS Choice ones. And I was like, I don't remember if I've gotten these before. I think I have. They're
Oh,
probably okay. So now I have a case of those that we're suffering through.
you could almost double pan them.
Well, yeah, and it would be the same price as the GFS
Yeah,
ones, so
exactly.
we're close to that. But yeah, good week, Skippy.
Yep. I'm going to a couple new places this week. I'm excited to try a new brewery out, and gonna put my schedule out here shortly. And you got
Nice.
some places.
You said a new brewery?
Yep, new one to us. So hopefully it'll be good. They've had barbecue places out there before, but I'm going to show them why I'm the best.
Award winning.
I have hats.
Not
I
necessarily
have hats
award-winning
coming
food,
too. I ordered some hats. Finally, I finally
Does it
figured
say
out.
award winning.
No, it does not. Just has a logo. No. But I got a really good deal on hats. So
Where'd you get them from?
Just a local logo shop, basically a local
Yeah.
embroidery shop. So it's just going to be one color. It's if you've seen the Superstore hats that are like black and gray, kind of the trucker hat,
Yeah.
the Richardson hats. Our logo, most people can see, is a Michigan license plate, and it's green with like a green and white. So we took out the green background, and we're just embroidering the name and then the logo and without the background, and then we're just doing black, and it's like $15 a hat. Which $15 a hat, you got to order 6 of them. That's to me that was damn good price. So
Yeah, not bad at all. One more thing I forgot to ask you. Are you moving forward with your road trip thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you start it? Yeah, people signed up?
April 1st.
Yeah.
Yep. People have asked about it because I've kind of said a couple little things. We're either going to do a free T-shirt or free hat, but I kind of want to get a T-shirt made that has the challenge on it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do shirts too. And I'm hoping that I might have to cut off the number of participants at some point in time to do what I really
so?
want to do. Huh?
You think so?
Yeah, this thing's gonna cost me a fortune. We already have, I think, 20 signed up, and they're halfway through.
Oh,
Yeah, we had people just fucking ordering shit. Like everybody's got all the sides done now that has signed up because they just got like a
Sir,
sandwich.
are you doing anything with? Are you including specials into this too, or no?
No,
So
no,
you should.
because that would make it almost impossible unless people traveled like across the state. Because there's some specials that we only do at certain locations.
I was thinking about doing a cross promotion challenge with you. You and I come up with a T-shirt that says you visited both of us.
Just visit.
Maybe include include Bubba on the other side and do 3 of them. Barbecue. I mean, technically that's a barbecue road trip.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we can throw in any of the barbecue trucks we like.
I'd almost throw in like 5, like all over, and cross promote. I visited here. And each logo on the back with where we're located.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that'd
I'm
be
down
fun.
with that. But yeah, I was hoping to do so anybody that completed it got a T-shirt, and then maybe we do a special luncheon at the end of the year type of thing. Where I
But that's going to cost a
cater,
fortune.
cater a nice little meal. But if I cut it off at like 50, not everybody's going to come. But even 50 T-shirts is good lord. But it's doing what it's supposed
Just
to.
remember, Josh, one color, one color's the cheapest.
That's right. People are ordering stuff they wouldn't normally order. What I should have done is, so I just did loaded mac. So if they order pork or brisket, they get to check it off. They don't have to order both.
Oh,
So
no, you got to order both.
Yeah. So, but it's still 19 items, which I thought would, and I think it's going to take a little while for people to actually get there, but because all the easy stuff's done. Now it's entrees.
So do I include meals into that or just sandwiches? So if they get a sandwich meal, it's more. It counts as a different item.
You could. I mean, it's up to you, but
But it's like then do those meals include the sides, or do they have to get an individual side?
God, yeah, you got more to think about.
Yeah.
I probably, I don't know. I
At
guess
least
it's
you're
what
not
are you
yelling at
trying
me
to
this
get out
week
of it?
about it.
What's your goal?
At least you're not yelling at me this time about it.
I was a little stressed out last weekend and Monday. Okay,
I love you. I'm just
I
saying.
apologize to everybody, especially those that couldn't hear Skippy at all and you just had to listen to me randomly rant and reply to things that you couldn't hear.
I think
So
we
I'm
lost
sure I sounded
visit.
plenty crazy.
I think we lost subscribers last week.
I don't know how 50 people downloaded and listened to that thing. So,
They
this
were
one's
anxiously
better.
waiting.
Oh, what a week of sales will do. But that is it for us today. That's 11:30. We are cutting it off in an hour and a half.
Woo!
Whoop, whoop. Live episode 3. Let us know. Make sure you guys tell us if the audio's better this time. What are you measuring?
Ooh.
I don't know. It only looked to be about 3 inches, though.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. All the hate mail can go to Bert at pbandjsofmichigan.com.
That's definitely. I mean, that's not how you get a hold of me, but that's fine. I'll take the hate mail. I love hate mail. I want to read mean tweets on the air. We need a Twitter now.
Okay, you go ahead because I got enough social media that I'm monitoring already. I can't do more. So
I'm not saying I can do more either. So I can barely do
my
mine.
next store is proving to be fruitful. So we can talk about that another time. All right, Skippy, have a good week. I will talk
Hopefully
to
it's
you
not
again.
audio visual.
What?
I said hopefully it's not audio visual.
What? Oh, okay. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Skippy, you have a good week. Good luck
See you
on
guys.
all the sales things. And peace out, everybody. Eventually we'll end this broadcast. Hold on. There's too many buttons I have to push now. And bye.